Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, on today's episode, I've got the Ultimate Commander deck challenge right now, Landless Commander. I'm talking about no cheating with MDFCs, no actual lands in the deck at all, either on the front side or back side of the card. Can it be possible with less than $100 on the deck on Moxfield? I'm here to tell you, yes, it's possible. Let's jump into it. And again, I probably should mention that $100 on Moxfield is based on the lowest prices of all those cards out there and not including shipping. But yeah, you gotta utilize some pretty budget-friendly commanders to make this work. So Rog is gonna be my pick, and we'll talk about exactly why. Because Rogrek, the son of Roga, is a 0/1 Kobold Warrior with First Strike, Menace, and Trample, and has Partner, and it costs 0. Having red is pretty crucial in our color identity, number 1. Number 2, having a 0-cost creature can be very impactful for a deck like this, and we'll talk about exactly why for a couple of different scenarios that we can get into. That being said, the other commander is Ikra Shadiki, and we really don't care at all what it does. I hate to tell you that, but we're probably never actually going to play this card itself. Sure, it's a 3/7 Menace Snake Wizard for 5 mana in Golgari. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness, and of course it has Partner. The reasons why this one was chosen was, well, it's in Golgari, and it is only $1.64, versus the other Golgari commander is a lot more than that. So there you go. Other Golgari commander with Partner, I should say. So overall, again, we have a Jund deck, and our commander that we care about is Rog. It's adorable. What are we going to do with that, though? Well, the entire deck is built around Goblin Char Belcher, an artifact for 4 mana that is incredibly specific on what it does. It says, pay 3, tap. Reveal cards from the top of your library and to reveal a land card. Goblin Char Belcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way to target creature or player. If the revealed land was a mountain, Goblin Char Belcher deals double that damage instead. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any order. So this card is, well, incredibly specific in what it does, sees basically no play at all in Commander, and, well, is incredible for a deck that literally, again, has no lands in it, because what happens is, again, you activate this, and you say, okay, I'm going to reveal at the top of my library. Your opponent's like, oh, okay, that's weird that you're doing this, because you don't have any lands in play, but you've somehow got mana out there and are able to do this, but you do it. Okay, do it. So you reveal one after another. I mean, literally what you should probably do is just show your entire deck, because you have no lands in it, and just save the time. Count the number of cards in it, and guess what? You just dealt like 80 damage to an opponent's face, and they are gone. And no, you didn't reveal a mountain because you've got no lands in the deck. So literally, all we're trying to do with this deck is get to this card, which we've got many ways to do so, activate it, and then take our opponents out one by one in very spectacular fashion. Now, a lot of the budget of this deck goes into some of these cards that, well, I mean, are outside of my normal budget, but yeah, you kind of got to extend things just a little bit, and if you actually want to make this deck a bit more consistent, extend it even further with even more free land cards. Free mana cards, like Lotus Bloom is what I should say. An artifact with Suspend 3/4/0. This thing has absolutely no cost. There's no way to cast it except for suspending it for 3/4/0. Man, freely, just get it out there. And you can tap and sacrifice at 3 mana of any one color. Basically, Black Lotus on delay. So yeah, once you get that going, great. You can actually utilize it again once you get it out there. Mox Tantalite, very similar. Again, Send 3/4/0. This one, though, does stick in play, but taps for 1 mana of any color. But sometimes that's all you need to get things going. That's all you need to get things started. In fact, actually, there is a turn 1 win condition with this deck, not instant speed. Turn 1 win condition with this deck. It doesn't involve this one, but it does involve potentially a card like, oh, I don't know, Elvish Spirit Guide. This one is a 2/2 Elf Spirit for 3 mana in green. It says, exile from your hand, add a green. So, this one freely just is a random mana out of your hand that you're like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'm not playing with lands. I just want free mana with this. Give me that 1 mana. And again, usually that's enough to get you going. And sometimes enough to get you going enough where you just straight out win right away. And I say win, I mean more so take one opponent out and then everyone else just panics because you took an opponent out on turn 1. Simian Spirit Guide, again, very similar to this one, but in red. Exile out of your hand. add a red. And then very strangely, we've got Chancellor of the Tangle, a 6/7 for 7 mana that we don't care about getting into play. What we care about is having it in our opening hand, and when we do, my goodness, it's amazing. Reveal from your opening hand. If you do at the beginning of first main phase, you get a free green mana. So free mana to be had for us. Next up, though, another huge card in this deck. We've got Serum Powder. Now, this card is another one that we might never play. In fact, we probably will never play it. We'll never get it out into play unless we really, eventually, I don't know, decide to. But what we care about with this is literally just, if we have an opening hand, great! Do we have an actual usable opening hand? No? Perfect! That's exactly why this is in the deck. Because this is an artifact that costs 3, it taps for just a color, so it's an inefficient mana rock that doesn't fix your mana. But again, we don't care about playing it, we care about getting rid of it. Because anytime you can mulligan and it's in your hand, you may exile all the cards in your hand and then draw that many cards. Yeah, this seems like one of the strangest Magic cards of all time because, well, it kind of seems like it's a fake card. It kind of seems like it's an uncard. It kind of seems like it shouldn't be playable, but it very much is. It is a card where, yeah, you're just kind of filtering out cards like, oh yeah, okay, let's make it more likely next time after I mulligan that I get a better hand. And this is, I looked it up, the only legal card in Commander that actually even mentions mulliganing. So there you go. An amazing card that lets us try again. Next up, though, let's talk about some bursty mana for us. That's right, some rituals and other effects as well. And this is where Rog can really shine in one way. Sorry, Rog, but here you go. Infernal Plunge, a sorcery, single red mana. Just cost to cast it, sacrifice a creature, add red, your mana pool. So again, if we get one of our little red mana effects, we can utilize this and all of a sudden sacrifice our commander, Rog, because you're free and we play you and then we sacrifice you and we get 3 mana out of you instead. So again, that can get us to the point where we really get things going. Other rituals, of course, Dark Ritual. Very simple, very effective. Add black to your mana pool. We've got other ways to get mana outside the Mox Tantalite that we talked about already. That being said, of course, we've got other ones as well. Rite of Flame, very simple, very effective. No sacrificing here. Just get 2 red mana for the price of 1. When it comes to other ones, though, we've got, well, Burnt Offering and Interrupt. Instant. For a single black mana, sacrifice a creature to add that creature's casting cost, mana value, and any combination of red and or black to your mana pool. So this actually doesn't help us with Rog, but there are other creatures that we can get out for free that maybe have a very high mana value. In fact, some of them very high, and we can actually get an absurd amount of mana from them and just go crazy. Speaking of which, Metamorphosis, very similar to that one. Again, very old card from 1995. Single green mana, sorcery speed. Sacrifice 1 creature, add amount of mana equal to its casting cost plus 1 to your mana pool. And any color, basically. So yeah, basically, again, the exact same thing in a way, but you get that plus 1. And again, this can be a big burst of mana. I mean, even up to, with this deck, like 8 mana, potentially, for just a single mana. Sacrifice, again, somewhat similar to that one as well. Sacrifice 1 creature to add your mana pool. A number of black mana equal to its casting cost. Yeah, again, we can just get big bursty mana out of these. Next up, though, we've got Tinder Wall. That's right, not just an app, but also a wall. 0/3 wall for a single green mana. You can sacrifice this one to add red to your mana pool. So yeah, just a, hey, it's a green ritual into red. Kind of made sense back in the day in Magic. They're like, wood, burn it. Mana! Makes sense, right? Wild Canter, more of like a mana storage for us. A 1/1 human druid for either of those colors, and we can sacrifice that 1 mana of any color. So it can kind of filter mana for us or to store it up as well. Speaking of which, Goldahound, a 1/1 treasure dog, because that's the thing. For a single red mana, first strike, menace, tap, sacrifice it at 1 mana of any color. So yet another way to get mana out of that and to filter it. Battle Hymn, though. This one is quite good with this deck. An instant for 2 mana. Super expensive, right? Add red to your mana pool for each creature you control. So outside of our commander, we actually have a good amount of creatures that are free or actually can become free and can give us an absurd amount of mana with this ritual. Finally, though, Rousing Rebrain. I love this card. Sorcerer, 5 mana in total, but we're never going to pay that. We're just going to suspend it for 2 mana instead. It's got spend 3. It says, add red for each card in target opponent's hand until that turn you don't lose mana as steps in phase end. Then you exile with 3 time counters on it, so you then get it back. Basically, it's a repeat ritual effect, and one that, again, you can cast for cheap. So, yeah, you can just keep getting bursts of mana throughout the game to do crazy things with. Next up, we're going to talk about, well, some great ones, because these are cards that cost 1, and they're great. So spend 3 for a single mana, tap for 2. This is Soul Talisman. Soul Ring, it is not, but still, we are willing to obviously just pay 1 mana to get an eventual Soul Ring. And speaking of which, well, Soul Ring. Yeah, there you go. An artifact for 1, taps for 2. Basically, you know, the most famous commander card out there. It's an overpowered card, and yet it's not a game changer technically. It's kind of its own category according to Wizards. Yeah, big bursty mana. Absolutely love it. Speaking of that, though, 2 mana, Magus of the Vineyard. This is quite funny. A 1/1 human wizard for a single green mana at the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase. Add green to that player's mana pool. Yes, we're benefiting our opponents with this. That's okay. We're willing to pay that price because, again, we get access to mana every single turn with this. Speaking of which, this card is actually based off of Eladamri's Vineyard, and enchantment for the exact same. Does the exact same thing. It's just not a creature. So, again, basically free 2 mana every single one of our turns. Potentially even more mana, though, with Carpet of Flowers, again, at just 1 mana and enchantment. At the beginning of each of your main phases, again, each of your main phases, if you haven't manned mana with this ability this turn, you may add X mana, any one color, X the number of islands target opponent controls. This one is variable, but of course it can be quite a bit in the right scenario. Speaking of which, Curse of Opulence. Everyone, pile on that opponent and give me some money. Or a curse for a single red mana enchant player. Whenever an enchanted player is attacked, create a gold token. Each opponent attacking that player does the same thing. So, yeah, put it on that unfortunate player that now everyone's going to attack because everyone wants gold. And then you get free mana. And, of course, also, you know, with your own creatures, keep in mind, yeah, okay, I'll play a rock for free. Yeah, I'll attack. Yeah, I'll get that treasure. Or that treasure, I say shit treasure. Gold, even better, it's gold. I'll take it. Moving on, though, to What a Dork. Yeah, even our commander can become a dork with Paradise Mantle. Again, yet another great reason to have a commander that costs 0 mana and equipment for 0 itself. And yes, actually, having artifacts that cost 0 can be huge for this deck as well. We'll get into why here in a little bit. That being said, pay a single mana into this, equip it to our commander, and all of a sudden our commander is an amazing mana dork. It taps for 1 mana of any color on mana pool. Speaking of which, Bop, Birds of Paradise. Again, super expensive, you know, for me, a budget player, but we made it into that budget again of $99.10. A 0/1 bird for a single green mana, flying, tap at 1 mana of any color. Single Store, this is an interesting one. This one, again, shows off how ROG can really help us out. A 1/1 for a single green mana. Tap and untap artifact or creature control at 1 mana of any color. Obviously, we have any of our free artifacts as well. That can be huge for us too. But yeah, being able to tap a creature, cool. Just Spare Sentinel, basically is the exact same thing, just for creatures, though not for actual artifacts. And then so is Surly Caretaker. Again, exact same thing. Springleaf Drum, exact same thing, but on an artifact as well. And of course, Multani's Harmony. Yeah, ever seen this card? No, probably not. Anyways, it's an aura for a single green mana. You just put it on a creature and then it can tap for 1 mana of any color. So again, ROG, you are the biggest dork right now. Thank you so much. Elves of Deep Shadow, though, another dork for us. It can tap for a black mana, 1 damage to us. Oh no, 1 damage. Yeah, we're fine. We're playing Commander Red 40 life. It's okay. Elvish Mystic, though, just going to tap for 8 green. Same thing with Finehorn Elves. Yeah, these are going to be great. Lanner Elves as well. We've got quite a few of these. That being said, yeah, Ignoble Hierarch is fantastic. A 0/1 Goblin Shaman with Exalted. So yeah, we can pump our team. We really care about that. Pumping 1 creature attacking. No, not really. Anyways, taps for any of our colors, though. Honored Hierarch does not start off as a dork, but can become one, a 1/1 with Renown 1. So if you're not sure what Renown is, well, whenever it deals combat with your player, if it's not Renown, you get a counter on it. It is Renown then. Cool. And as long as it's Renown, it's got Vigilance, and it can tap for 1 mana of any color. So get it out early, swing, get through on an opponent, and all of a sudden, you can tap it for mana. Quite nice. Then we've got, well, Molt Tender. This one is one where, yeah, eventually you'll get there, right? It's fine. Or you might get something in your graveyard too anyways, which is great. You can have a 1/1 Insect Druid for a single green mana, tap melee card, tap exile card from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, again, we can have those big bursty turns where we just kind of take an opponent out of nowhere, which can be quite fun. Also, though, sometimes it can be a little more kind of thought out and planned, and that's okay with the Molt Tender. Rift Sower, though, speaking of which, is spend 2 for a single green mana, and it can tap for 1 mana of any color. So again, when it comes out, it can be tapping right away for us. Moving on to Zero Hero. Yeah, Rog isn't the only kobold that we've got in this deck. Not our only kobold friend, or our only free creature friend as well. Crookshank kobolds. The exact same thing, basically, except for all the keywords. We don't really care, though. It's literally just a 0-1 for 0, and that's cool. We also have Kobold of Keep. Exact same thing. A 0-1 for 0. That's literally all we care about. Ornithopter. 0-2 flying for 0. Again, hey, it's free. That being said, we also have some other ones that are not technically free, but also kind of technically free. Halo Hopper. This is a 3-2 frog for 3 mana that's got Convoke, so you can actually get it out again by tapping your creatures for that mana instead. Frogmite. This one's got affinity for artifacts, and believe me, we've got an absurd amount of free artifacts in this deck, some that we talked about already, but yeah, we'll talk about even more here in a little bit. So again, it does cost 4 mana, but it can basically be free. Foundry is similar, very similar. This one has Improvise, so it's kind of like Affinity, but you got to tap your artifacts for that. That being said, yeah, again, something that we can actually get out for free. Salvage Titan, we can do this in a different way, though. You may sacrifice 3 artifacts rather than pay the spell's mana cost. It's a very unique card. Get 3 of our free artifacts in play and just cheat out into play this 6 mana value creature. And again, we already talked about how mana value can work with some of those ritual effects, so you can have some crazy plays with that early. Willforge Golem, again, another creature with Convoke, so again, get those free creatures out, tap them, and get this out for free. Barricade Breaker, again, Improvise for 7 mana. Yeah, it attacks each combat of Fable. Cool. We care more about just getting this out into play. Frogmere Enforcer, Affinity for Artifacts, again, at 7. You can also prototype it out, but yeah, it's going to be cheaper for us to just actually cast it with the Affinity for Artifacts. Speaking of which, Mirror Enforcer, basically exact same thing. Affinity for Artifacts, and it's a 4/4. And then finally, Sojourner's Companion. Affinity for Artifacts, you can also artifact land cycling for absolutely no reason because we don't have lands in this deck. And again, just 7 mana for a 4/4. Okay, now here is a massive tactic, free for me. Lots of cards that are free to get into play. 23 of them in this tactic. We're going to go through them quickly, though. Everflowing Chalice, a flexible mana rock that we might just play for free if we need an artifact in play. Same thing with Astral Cornucopia. This one is basically, XXX, get charge counters on it. So basically 3 mana for 1 charge counter, 6 for 2, etc., etc., etc. If you get the mana, great. If you don't, maybe get into play for free if you need that artifact out there. A Quarter Shield, we're never going to equip it, but basically it's just a 0 mana equipment. Bonesaw, exact same thing. Briber's Purse, this one, sure, if you got mana for it, great. Why not get some gen counters on it? Remove, and then they can attack or block, who cares? Cathar's Shield, we've got yet another equipment we'll never equip. Chimeric Mass, a free artifact that we can get charge counters on it and turn into a construct if we have things on it, but if not, it's just a free artifact. Claws of Gix, we can sacrifice permanents if we really want to, which could come in handy sometimes, but probably not. Then we've got Darksteel Relic, it's indestructible, and it's literally just an artifact that does nothing. Delphi's Cone, this one we actually can choose to make a creature deal no damage and gain life, but we don't really care about that. What we care about is just getting into play. Engineered Explosives, I mean, if you've got mana and you need to get rid of something, great, Sunburst it. If not, yeah, just get into play for free, and it's that artifact for you. Fountain of Youth, yet another one, just 0 mana, pay 2, gain a life. That is so bad, but we don't care. Herbal Paltus, again, we've got a 0 mana artifact, pay 3, regenerate a creature. Probably never going to utilize that either. Kite Shield, yet another, the exact same kind of equipment that we will never equip. Orochi Hatchery, yeah, if we get counters on it, cool, we can make some snakes, but we're never going to do that. We're not going to do that at all. Sigil Distinction. Cool, we can pump a creature, we don't care. We're just getting into play for free again. Equipment, who cares? Spellbook, this one says you have no maximum hand size. Great, that actually can come in handy for us. So cool, get that into play, no maximum hand size. Why not? Spider Silk Net, again, yet another equipment we will never equip. Tormod's Crypt, yes, absolutely, we can utilize this one. Tap, sacrifice it, exile cards from target player's graveyard. Again, against a graveyard-centric deck, Reanimator deck, one of those types of strategies, you can ruin someone's game with this card. Or you can just have it stay into play and be affinity for artifacts for you. Welding Jar, sacrifice it to regenerate an artifact. Cool, it can save another artifact, which actually can be game-changing for us. Or it can just be an artifact that stays in play. Zurin Orb, this one is hilariously non-useful in this deck. Artifact for 0, sacrifice a land, you gain 2 life. Unless someone literally somehow donates a land to you, you will never have a land in play. You can't sacrifice them. Scale of Chiscoria, you might think, hey, this one actually costs 3. No, it doesn't. If any artifacts, it's going to be free. You can also cast it at flash speed, and it can tap to slightly pump a creature in toughness. Exact same thing, though, with the Tooth, which is the exact opposite, +1 with 0 instead. But yeah, again, basically free for this deck. Moving on, we've got Value Town, and my goodness, the amount of value you can get out of these cards. Yeah, I snuck Aether Vial into here with this printing, $4.30. That's cheap for an Aether Vial. Artifact for 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on it. Tap, put a creature card with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on it from your hand on the battlefield. This is crucial. If you can get this out, this can get out a lot of those 1 mana value creatures, those mana dorks for you, and it can really help you out. Speaking of which, speaking of crucial, Cryptolith, right. My goodness. Enchantment for 2 mana. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Thank goodness this was reprinted recently because, wow, this used to be like a $10 card. It would never fit in this budget right now. That being said, yeah, having all of our creatures be mana dorks, that is massive. Again, think of all the low the ground creatures we have, all the 0-drop creatures we have, all of the 1 mana creatures that like have other things tapped we have. Yeah, this can be absolutely massive for us when it comes to producing mana. Helm of Awakening makes everything cheaper. Artifact for 2 mana. Spells cost 1 less. Yes, it helps our opponents. We don't care. Have the Eldami's Vineyard too. We don't care. Have that mana. What we care about is literally, hey, make our spells cheaper so we can do things. Lotus Bloom, this is an artifact for 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a petal counter on it. We're going to do that. Tap Sacrifice, had X mana of any one color X, the number of petal counters on it. Basically, it stores up mana for us, and we eventually use it absolutely. Flare of Duplication, this one can be quite spicy. Instant for 3 mana. You may sacrifice a non-token red creature at the spell's mana cost. Copy target instant or spell. You choose targets for the copy. This can be more so a, hey, an opponent's doing something crazy, let's copy that. Or maybe one of our ritual effects, let's copy that. Keep in mind, again, our commander is a non-token red creature, so we can just literally cast this for free just by having our commander in play. Glittering Stockpile, a treasure for 3 mana, tap, add it red, and it puts a stash counter on it that you can eventually tap and sacrifice at X mana of any one color X, the number of stash counters on it. Again, basically like a build-up of mana on top of it being a mana rock for us. Treasure, Nabber, this can be huge. Whenever opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn. Basically, opponents, hey, utilize your mana rocks. Thank you. I will temporarily borrow those and utilize them to fantastic fashion. Signal Hierophants, this is a bit of a more expensive, crypto threat, obviously, but if we can get into play, it can be massive for us. Creature control have tap, add a green. Then there's Leyline of Abundance. Oh my goodness. Opening hand, yes please. Put this right into play for free. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add additional green, doubles up our mana dorks. And again, we've got a ton of them. On top of that, it's got an activated ability that we will never utilize to get counters on our creatures because we don't care. Mystic Forge, if we can get this out, my goodness, how you can churn through your deck. Artifact for 4, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells and color spells from the top of your library. Tap, pay 1 life, exile top card of your library. This is a card that's like, hey, you know what? What we're going to be doing is just playing nearly our entire deck. Most of this deck are, free artifacts, so you're just like, okay, get that into play. Oh, get that into play. Oh, get that into play. Oh, no, I hit something I can't play. Okay, exile it. Oh, get that into play now. That into play, that into play. And, of course, Bolas's Citadel. My goodness, such a fun card, especially if you, again, can do that turn 1, hit this off the top. Oh, my goodness. Again, get, like, that Salvage Titan into play, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, yeah, cool. That bursty mana, all of a sudden, this is in play, and you're like, oh yeah, cool, let's just play things for free. Maybe my entire library. Why not? So yeah, being able to play the top card of the library time, and being able to play it with mana, instead of mana, actually playing with life, what's not to love about that? You can also, sacrifice 10 permanents to drain your opponents, but you might not do that. What you're going to be doing is playing things for free. Lovely. Next up, though, we got to dig down into our deck to get to these amazing cards. Mishra's Bauble is a great way to do so. Artifact for 0. Tap, sacrifice it. Look at the top card player's library. You don't really care about that too much, maybe. Maybe you do. I mean, look at the top, of your own. And be like, oh, cool, that's nice. I'll draw that eventually. That being said, I'm going to draw it anyways. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. So, yeah, being able to just be a kind of free cantrip, it's absolutely huge for this kind of a deck. Basically, it takes up less spots in the deck, kind of like our secondary commander does, our partner. Urza's Bauble, basically the exact same thing, except for we're looking at a card at random from someone's hand. We don't care. This is a 0 mana cantrip. Let's get risky, though. Spoils of the Vault. I love this. Instant for a single black mana. Choose a card name. Reveal card to the top of your library until reveal a card with that name. And put that card in your hand. Exile the cards revealed this way. You lose 1 life for each card of the exiled cards. This, again, it's a risky strategy, obviously. We're fine with that. We're going to go into a lot of risk with this, though, too, by going, okay, am I ready in my setup? Do I need Goblin Charbelcher? Okay, awesome. I will pay 1 mana, and I will hopefully get to it, and hopefully don't take myself out, and hopefully I have enough cards left in my library to take my opponents out, too. Or, again, if you're like, okay, this is turn 1, and I need this to become, something else, awesome. let's have it become something else for me. Let's have it become, oh, I don't know, one of my mana rocks, essentially, that I can get out for free. Okay, let's just do that. Hopefully I hit the right thing. Next up, reckless handling again. Search your library for an artifact, reveal, put in your hand, then shuffle, discard a card at random. Hopefully it's not the card we just got. If we do, though, if we discard an artifact, I guess, 2 damage each opponent. So yeah, go tutor up. Hopefully the right thing that stays in your hand. Wishclaw Talisman. This one's just sharing the love, right? Enters battle with 3 wish counters on it. Hit 1 tap, remove a wish counter from it. Go get any card out of your library, and then give it control to an opponent. And make sure you make the deal ahead of time that they have to give it back to you. There you go. Demonic Bargain, though, again, what's not, life if you're going to take some risks with it, right? Sorcery with 3 mana, exile the top 13 cards of your library, then search your library for a card, put in your hand, then shuffle. Again, this is a risky strategy. This is a risky deck, and of course, we're willing to take on the risks that we just lose out on Goblin Charbelcher, and then it's gone, and then we can't tutor for it, and then, we don't do anything. Which is fine. It's completely fine because you know what? It's a risky strategy. Here's a fun one, though. Recross the Paths. Have you ever heard of this card? Probably not, but it is absolutely amazing for this strategy. A source for 3 mana in green. Reveal cards to the top of your library until you reveal a land card. We don't have lands. Put that card in your hand, the rest of them on your library in a random order. Flash from the opponent. If you win, return to its owner's hand. Okay, so here's the thing. Literally, what you do with this can be one of the most obnoxious things ever. You probably should have like a spreadsheet and an order ready to go. But basically, again, because you have no lands, you just go through your entire deck. You reveal all the cards. You have no lands. Then you say, oh, okay, I just get to reorder my entire deck because I, didn't reveal a land. I didn't hit a land. No lands were hit. I showed you my entire deck. I get to put all of them on the bottom of my library in any order I want. So you get to literally set your entire library and just say, oh, I'm going to draw this next, then that 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 next. And sure, if you clash with the opponent and get this in your hand, great, but you're probably not going to do that, and who cares? It already did what it did. You just reordered your entire library, which is exactly what you can do with Abundance as well. Then Sham for 4 mana. If you would draw a card, you may instead choose land or non-land card, reveal cards top your library, reveal a card of the chosen kind, put that card in your hand, put all our cards revealed this way at the bottom of your library in any order. This is basically replace one draw with, again, literally set your entire library to whatever you want. Because if you choose land, you don't hit any lands. And all of a sudden, you reset your entire library to whatever you want to do. Fun side note to this one, if someone is trying to mill you out with this card in play, you don't mill out because you can just choose one of those two, and then you don't hit it. And you didn't draw, so you don't lose. Anyways, Diabolic Tutor, of course, is a very simple tutor effect. 4 mana, go tutor for any card into your hand. Dimir Houseguard, a very weird tutor. Transmuted away for 3 mana. Go search your library for any card that costs 4, which of course includes Goblin Charbelcher. Then there's Mastermind's Acquisition. Literally the exact same thing as Diabolic Tutor for Commander Standards because we can't have it outside the game. And finally, Street Wraith. Basically a free way to cycle it away. A free card draw. Pay just 2 life. Again, you're in Commander. Who cares about life? You are fine. So overall, an incredibly difficult challenge, if I do say so myself. Again, a lot of the, hey, free mana cards are, quite expensive. Quite expensive. And if you want to make this deck more consistent, obviously, you might need to either, proxy certain things, or just go get like a Lotus Petal and things like that as well. That being said, a really fun deck to put together. Again, a fun challenge of absolutely no lands. One of the most basic things in Magic, right? Lands, yes. And of course, there are the cheaty ways that you can do it as well, which is completely fine. I've done that in the past as well with MDFCs, and it's completely fine and fun. But yeah, trying to put together a deck with literally no lands at all, well, it's a fun thought experiment and something that actually can work, and it can do some crazy things, again, right out of the gate with the right hand. Rogrek, I love you. It's a fun deck to build around this one. If you're interested in it, make sure you check out that deck list link in the description below. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.